writer and every artist, no matter what age. Original art with me as well. A veteran of the comic book industry for 30 years. I'm a writer, I'm an artist, and this sucks.
Tonight's episode, Nightmare.
Don't start! We haven't left yet!
Up the angle up. Hi!
Hey!
Sorry, we're talking about what would be the best camera angle to, go like this, have it up there. Yeah. Hi, guys.
Yeah, welcome. It's Aaron Live. I'm Aaron. This is Shelley Showtime over here. Sporting the very styling, especially in wintertime, the Wraith of God beanie, which is going to be making a big comeback thanks to Shelley, spearheading the movement.
It's all about the swag, peoples.
Basically forced me into it, but we're going to bring back the Wraith of God.
It's like getting married. Forced it.
That's right. Your dad had a shotgun?
No.
Your dad liked me.
He did. And he'd say things like, how different you guys were, but how thankful he was.
Yeah.
And then my mom would say, like, how different you were from Dad and how I better count my lucky stars. And well,
your dad said to me on our wedding day, he said,
you had to get married on the opening day of
other than
hunting
that,
season.
the
Yeah,
other
he
thing
was mad.
He said, I only asked one thing.
Yeah.
To take care of my daughter. And I said, okay, so can we define? Is there another option?
You did.
I did not. I said, I guarantee it. And I have delivered.
He even brings me dinner.
I do.
In bed if I'm having a day. And I've had a lot of them lately.
Mm-hmm. It's usually dinner. And then she makes me bring her dinner in bed even when she's not having a day.
True. You get used to it.
We're down in the kitchen. She goes, oh, wait, I got to run upstairs and go to bed. I don't have to bring
to the custom what is it?
The lifestyle
I've become accustomed to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactamo.
So anyway, let's see who's here.
I knew who was first.
You were.
I was.
But you got booted out of your own show.
Yeah.
They booted
you know what I get?
Chat. Nothing.
I get a beanie.
Horror Mike's here, though.
Horror Mike.
Howdy, Shelley. At Baggins and Banshee at Stipley. He's saying hello to everybody. He loves everyone.
So popular.
He says again, now this is the kind of show I'm talking about. Two of the best artists in the biz. That would be me and Graham Nolan. No, he wouldn't be.
I am not an artist. That's for sure.
Randy Howell's here.
Hi, Randy.
Aldian's here. Amanda B.
What is this? A toque? A toque? Am I saying it right? Let me know, Andy.
Oh, that's right.
Hi, Amanda.
For Canadian wearers.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. You're always number one in our hearts, Shelley and Aaron.
Oh, thanks.
She
might be responding to a post I did earlier.
Okay. So I shouldn't cannonball her?
No.
Okay. All right.
Saved you, sister.
Baggins and the Banshee.
Oh,
he says he's saying hi to her, Mike, not to us.
Well, it's okay. They can have their conversations. That's the most fun part, I think.
Well,
this hair.
We're more attentive to the chat than any other show on the internet, I think.
That's true. That should be one of those nobody gives a damn awards.
Most attentive
to the chat.
Yeah. Oh, look at Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is almost here, although he says he almost forgot. That'd have been horrible.
How? Well, okay.
Oh, here's to Graham, Shelley, Puppets.
Puppets.
And Aaron last. Are you kidding me?
It's a shoe.
Dan Genovese,
the pizza boy. Did that? Oh,
that dog. I'm going to kill that dog.
The fan fell on his shoe.
The who fell on? Oh.
The shoe. The infamous shoe.
We're completely organized. And It's my dog did that to my daughter's shoes.
He's had this since he was a puppy.
Yep, and
for some reason he loves it.
Yep, not going to be much left here and longer. All right, so Dan Genovese, the pet pizza man, says
dude.
Hi, hail, Aaron and Shelley. Hi, Graham. Graham's not here yet.
He's probably shoveling snow.
Probably is. He's like 6 feet under.
Holy cow! I want some of that.
We need more Buck Thornton. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it means something.
I'm sure we need some.
Is that a character from one of Graham's?
I was thinking Buck Rogers is what it means.
I can't remember the names now. I remember the Chenoo, and I read Alien Alamo, but I don't remember any of the characters' names. I'll forget by the time he gets here. Well, let's see. Well, why waste any more time?
Right.
Let's get some food.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Yep.
She always delivers, even when you don't want her to. So we're just having gummy bears today. That's it.
Yeah. World's best, it says.
Well, they wouldn't lie to us.
12 flavors, gluten-free. That's
fat free, low sodium.
Wish I had a label that said fat free. Oh well, it is what it is. All right.
First at what?
That was me. First at what? What? Choose one already. Now you're first.
You're the first one to get that today.
Yep.
Let's see here.
You're going backwards.
I know. I'm trying to get caught up.
Okay. I'll just be quiet.
Look at that. Willy Wonkanabe. 3 beer bottles put upside down, and look what it looks like. That's just terrible. Terrible. Peyton's here.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. How about this? Well, we got that.
I always know when he's watching sports downstairs because I can hear him. No! Oh, I think you were watching basketball last night. Were you watching the Blazers?
Yeah, I wasn't too happy.
Oh my gosh! And then, but you were quiet during the football game, and I thought, oh no, either he's super sad. I go down and they're winning.
But they led,
and then I left.
Nebraska led for the entire game except for 35 seconds, and they lost.
They'll find a way.
Yep. My wife cooks meals for me, Aaron. Yeah. Well,
nice. She's better than I am, which I know that.
Shelley does laundry though, and that was our agreement. Let's see. Brian Suddenly Old is here.
Yep.
Look at that. 5 p.m. and it's already dark. It's nap time. I know.
It's weird.
Try your hardest to stay awake if you can.
Yeah,
there you go. Shelley, it's good to know you're not cursed to be an artist. Boy, isn't that true?
I know, but when you're surrounded by, so mom's artistic. Yep. Took. Aaron's a little bit artistic. Our daughter's artistic. And then there's me. So when our son's not home, it's just like I'm surrounded by these creative people, and
I'm surrounded by
their brains don't think and process like mine do.
I'm surrounded by
just breathe, Shelley.
I'm surrounded by 3 women when Samantha's home, so there's a whole nother thing going on there.
Well, it's a little bit too much information. It's the only one of them actually has estrogen in her body. So does that count? TMI.
Nice toque, Shelley. Yes, you said it right with the French word.
Toque.
Okay.
French are just too cool. They rarely do anything with the last letter. Okay. I mean, that was QUE, so that's just nothing anyway, but it all ends up in the nose, like, the
Daniel Russell's here. Luke
Daniel.
Karolowitz.
If you hear me.
Luke Karolowitz.
I like
Don Ringel he's suggesting all of you hit the like button, and I couldn't agree more because,
digging these gummy bears.
I know, they're good. If you notice, the name of tonight's episode was Nightmare, and it seems to be pretty appropriate for all of our episodes. So, but despite that,
if you do have nightmares, don't tell us.
I'll just use it every week from now on. Tonight's episode, Nightmare again
on Aaron Street.
But please take a moment to do this. That was pretty good.
That was good.
It went right from.
Good timing. Yeah. I was going to pull this down. I was going to try to do John Malin. but it messed up my eyebrows. So I decided not to.
Shelley delivers better than a postman to Uranus.
But okay, quit. Maybe if I slept with one of those things that like
I don't know.
out of gravity.
I don't know. Mike McMahon says, I was going to send you those gummies. Well, you still can. She'll eat them.
Hey, there's always room for gummies.
Christina Lynn, of course, is a freelance editor and proofreader that worked on Wraith of God.
She knows all.
Buck Thornton is one of Graham's short comics. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. From Two-Fisted Manly Tales. There you go.
Oh, and somebody earlier. Yeah, no, these are not.
Look at that.
CBD.
Look at this. Peyton's getting in line finally.
Please fit them. For pity's sake.
Appreciate it.
Jump aboard. It's all good.
Blackjack, candy free for 5 years now. I know I need to be. I've been candy free for about 5 minutes. Kelly 1481 is here. Hi, Aaron and Shelley. Hey, hello. Geek Avenger is here.
No, baby.
Daniel Russell is still here. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 is here. Gray Wolf Graphics is here.
Oh my gosh, lots. Josh is here.
Paul Brillart is here. Our favorite. Well, actually, our second favorite engineer. Our son would be our favorite, but
he knows all.
That's right.
He and Randy, the go-tos. I like the hollow if you got $1.
Ellie Mignose.
It's about all I got.
Marcus Killigro, you have eyebrows. Malin doesn't.
Yep.
Dr. Mask Retro Elixir. Evil One. Shelley has sexy eyebrows, unlike Malin.
I have to put stuff on them though. I'm getting gray hair in my eyebrows. Getting old stuff is not for the faint of heart.
Look at this.
What?
This guy's name is Lizard Sauce in the Berg.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
That's new.
Holy smokes. Stats says $20. That's incredible. Thanks, you so much.
Man.
Aaron and Shelley, happy Thanksgiving when you get there. I have to catch the replay, but wanted to wish you two a great night and great stream. Thanks for all the entertainment. God bless. Thank you, Stat Zero.
Thanks, Stat. Oh,
so kind.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to start crying. I'm such a boo-hooer. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Stippling says, you're here. Shelley is here. The chat's here. It's going to be a fun night. It's always a fun night.
It is.
Could it be even especially fun night tonight?
It could be super spectacularly fun because Graham's going to be here.
Yeah.
Now, let's, well, I guess we can wait till Graham gets here to talk about
Graham.
Gosh, I really want to shot a fireball. But I probably shouldn't if I want to keep breathing since I took pain meds earlier.
Yeah, I probably want to do that.
Yeah, no, little things like that.
But nothing's going to keep me from.
So we got again Wraith of God, shot glasses. We've got Garbage Man shot glasses, and
snap.
So we're going to do a little combo because we can send the shot glasses and the beanies together. Wrap the shot glass in the beanie, put it in a box.
Yeah,
we're going to add on to the campaign tonight. Should I not have said anything? But
well, no later than tomorrow. I'll try and get it done tonight.
So you can.
But if you've already ordered,
add on a shot glass.
Right. If you've already ordered shot glasses and want to add on a beanie, there'll be a secret perk sent out to you for that. And then the perk will be up for just if you want a beanie, you can just buy one and it'll be on there. And then if you, what did you just say? Oh, we'll make the beanie an add-on to the shot glass and shot glass to add on to the beanies if you haven't ordered any of them and are starting to think about maybe you want them.
And I started looking at flasks.
Flasks are expensive, though.
Yeah.
But I do like that wooden kit you found that had like the flask in it, the shot glass, a deck of cards, and a rifle or something in it.
An AR. But really, I mean, it's fun and all, but
I'd hit you for that, Peyton, but it's true. So I don't hit people for telling the truth. Well, Shelley.
What? Yeah. What do you got tonight?
Well, not as much as I normally do because we have a guest, and when a guest comes in, we don't have to do as much of the other.
Thank you, baby Jesus. Yes.
But I do have some stuff.
Some?
Yeah.
I see some new stuff.
No, there's some new stuff.
What's this? What's this?
We'll do that in a second.
In the air. What's this?
But first, let's take a look at our Bernie Wrightson of the day, shall we?
Let's. You know, it's interesting to look at back in the day stuff that was colored.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very
flat.
Yeah, it's very different. Not necessarily bad or worse, just because sometimes I think we have too many bells and whistles and then we use them all and then it just takes away from the artwork.
I believe in the simplicity of color.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be
let the line work speak.
Super, super over rendered.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at that.
I know.
Very nice.
I know.
Now,
I'm impressed.
This may come as a shock to you, but I actually own that comic.
You do?
Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, that's the only published drawing of Man-Thing that Wrightson ever did.
Paul, do you agree? Randy?
Somebody knows. Someone's got to know.
Bueller?
Marcus Killigrew will correct me if I'm wrong on that.
See, yeah, they liked it. Prefer the old colors.
Well, you need 4 colors.
I mean, there's some stuff that's kind of cool, but when you do those filters and effects and stuff over your work, it just takes away.
I agree.
Sometimes you got to know when to stop, right?
Well, and sometimes colors will come in and basically by the way they model your drawing, they change the drawing.
Right.
Especially on faces.
Well, I think too is because people they feel like they want to really do a good job, and so they kind of overdo it, and then
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay, I want to get that out of the way. All right. See, look, Marcus Killigrew says, I had that comic. Sal Buscema and Joe Stanton did the insides. Well, I still have
remember. I couldn't even remember what we talked about earlier today. And I had to re-ask you about the beanies and stuff.
Marcus agrees with me. I think that's the only time Bernie drew Man-Thing. That's
nice.
Yep. So
love it. Ain't wrong.
Not a ton of Hulk drawings either by him, but that's one. So that's a must-have for me. I actually kind of liked it.
Hey, Ron, did you get the Wrightson book? What's a F?
Yeah, I contributed to it. The
that one.
Was that the tribute?
I'm sure they have extras. You always print extras.
The Wrightson, no. Is that the Wrightson Frankenstein? No. Something FPG.
Can you do charades?
I did sounds like 2 words. First word, small.
Set it.
He said
a naughty word. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So I am terrible with abbreviation, so I don't know what that means. I contributed to the Wrightson tribute book.
Yes.
Which I'm supposed to be getting a copy of that.
Yeah, the Kickstarter campaign. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Aaron did something in it. I'm sure they ordered extra. Just reach out to them. Because
they always do.
We always do, because you got to account for damaged stuff.
Yes, my old Garbage Man one broke, so I have to get a new Garbage Man banner. Get rid of the Wonder Woman, although that's not technically Wonder Woman.
I love that. Warrior and Repose.
That's Warrior Nouveau.
Nouveau, that's right.
It kind of looks like Wonder Woman, but I designed that armor, so it's technically whatever I want it to be.
Ooh, price guide ? Ow, I pinched myself earlier.
Price guide ? What are you asking about the price guide?
Is Dan here? Hey, Dan. Are you thinking?
I am. Oh, hey, Dan.
Hi, Dan. I sent a super chat, Aaron. Now, was there one that somebody says you might have missed?
Evil One Year High. I didn't see it. I'll go back and check.
Oh wait, no, it was.
I'll go back and check.
It's gone now.
I will go back and check in just a second. Aaron LaPresti on graphic novels today. Isn't 6x9 the normal format? I'm thinking those old comics were more 8.5x11. The old Marvel graphic novels, the original graphic novels they did, like X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills, things like that. Death of Captain Marvel, they were 8.5x11. That would be your standard graphic novel size. But everything's pretty much printed 6x9 comic book format these days. So if you look there it is. If you look at, for example, Alex Ross's Fantastic Four hardcover graphic novel that just came out.
Yep.
8.5x11. There you go. Evil One, $5. Thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. Tell your dad he's making me rich. I forgot it's, or you're making me rich. I forgot it's Thanksgiving soon. Happy Thanksgiving, guys, and say hello for fun to my friend Justin. That's over watching for the first time. Justin, thanks for joining us.
Your friendship makes it through the evening.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for making me watch that.
Yeah. What are you making me watch that crap
We're just a couple dorks that
older dorks too, which is even worse.
I know. Inside we're like
embarrass our kids.
12.
But yeah. Well, Justin, thanks. Is that what he said, Justin? Justin, thanks for joining us. Hit the like and subscribe, even if you don't want to. That's how we roll around here.
Moving right along.
Okay.
We're the weirdest.
So anyways, let's take a look at the campaign real quick. Just because I spent a lot of money on this trailer.
That was awesome.
There it is.
So,
So anyway, yeah. So if you look over here on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see these are where the perks are listed. You'll see like Wraith of God shot glasses, Garbage Man shot glasses, and in here someplace, starting either late tonight or first thing tomorrow, there'll be a beanie.
right now
Just
it
what
says
Shelley's
7
wearing.
claimed, 3 claimed. That's not right.
No, because look,
Never mind.
these numbers are completely incorrect because there's secret perks. There's all sorts of things in
Right.
there. There's add-ons. It doesn't
We've had
count the
over
add-ons.
50 ordered.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
over
Almost 60 ordered.
Yeah, 77 shot glasses on order right now between the two
Mhm.
choices. So anyway,
That's fun. What's our next one going to be?
Kit Carter.
Kit Carter?
Yeah.
Just put boobs on it?
No, I'll use the Kit Carter logo. I got a good swinging kind of
Yeah.
adventure kind of feeling, Indiana
think-
Jonesy kind of logo.
We need to work some boobs in.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So
Maybe
yeah,
I'm just having boob envy.
it could be.
Never know.
So we have 4 cover options here. The Simon Bisley,
Woo!
the wraparound cover by me.
Ooh.
The Tales of Suspense cover by me, which, in case you don't know, this is a 100-page comic, Shelley. Has
I
a
know.
51-page Wraith of God story in it, an 18-page Garbage Man story in it,
Booyah.
somewhere between 15 and 20 pages of the Night Club, which I have not finalized the script yet. That's why I don't know exactly how many pages. And then 15 pages of Kit Carter. That adds up to 100.
Serious.
Excuse me, give or take,
serious page count.
for $25.
For $20.
Or you can get this cover, the Tomb of Dracula
Which
#1
we all
tribute
kinda
cover.
like
Yeah,
that one.
it's a very popular one.
Yeah.
Here's some interior pages colored by our own Gabe LTA. Very nice looking
Love
stuff.
that page right there.
Our own Dan Lawless comes in.
Booyah!
He'll be coloring the Garbage Man backup story, the Night of the Living Jed. What's that all about? There's a little Kit Carter for you, in case you wanted to know what that was.
And there's Murph.
There's Merv the Astro Chimp. You've got a signed and numbered limited edition print of Garbage Man available. You have the Wraith of God Roughs Volume 2 collection.
Now, somebody asked about Volume 1. Do we have any left?
We have a few. I
Are you gonna
just
do another
actually just sent one out to
print?
somebody.
Probably aren't going to do their print run. of
Nope,
Volume 1.
these are all signed and numbered. So whenever
Oh.
the campaign closes, that is it.
Maybe when we put them all together in hardback, that can be at the end.
Maybe. There you go. There's the Merv the Astro Chimp card, also known as the Phil Diaz card. That's the early sign up. People get that one for free. If you didn't, you can pay for it and get it. I haven't put up the perk yet, but I will in the new year.
So many perks, so little
T-shirts.
time.
Look at this. They're selling
Now-
like crazy.
One,
Keon-
can't remember who. Oh, Danky Frankie said we should put this on a beanie.
The werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's only
yeah, we
so
can only do
much.
so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a question for you guys. Those of you that are in the chat that bought these hats, okay, there's only 14. Full disclosure, it's sold. If I change this to a black hat instead of this earthy tone, which I happen to like, but I'm hearing a lot of people don't. If I change that
Well,
to
everything I wear is black.
if I lent that to change that to black or charcoal gray, do you think, number one, would it tick off the 14 people that have
I
already
think we
ordered,
just send them an email.
or would you guys prefer to see a black? If this was in black or charcoal, would you be more apt to buy it? That's my question.
I I think so, only because it could go with my ensemble aujourd'hui.
No, that's true.
Right.
Boy, is
So,
that the truth.
but I'm just me.
So I'm throwing it
I
out
wear
there.
black because it's supposed to be slimming, and I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Throwing it out there. Black is
Thank
my
you.
main color. Yes,
Yeah.
says Evil One. I'll
Okay.
buy it in black. 80 Made Consumers already told me that live on his show that he didn't
80s
like my
made
cat color.
consumer. Tell your daughter I said hello,
Black,
darling.
go black, hail.
Can I talk to his daughter for a minute without you interrupting me? Ooh, see, sister, we gotta stick together. But thank you for that nice comment. It's so sweet. I love those. I need them every once in a while, but somebody does miss me. I have some purpose.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I fell asleep. Christina,
Anyway, hi, darling.
I'm going through the.
Okay,
thing.
my bad. Sorry.
Black. We need more black. Cold.
That's
I don't know what that means. What?
Tacky old man color is the one that we have now.
Okay.
I think. Is that what you meant?
Maybe that's why I like
Back
it.
in black. Well, we are old.
Yeah, myself. I'll be back in black. Collect ball caps. Wraith of God has got to be black. Yes, I'll buy one black.
Okay.
I prefer black. I'll buy black. I'd buy. Okay, I get it.
I think someone said that like when we were first thinking about it. Gosh, who was that?
I don't know.
But good job, hun.
How about an Empire Comics brand beanie next time? Don't want the old lady flack when they see the Wraith of God logo and have to explain that it's not the reason I'm going to hell. Actually, it's a Christian themed book. Really, you can always use that to save yourself.
But
anyway, that is I didn't do that at first because we had the
there's
stuff
only
that,
so much. Oh
right.
my gosh.
The people that would be you.
My people
attach themselves to Wraith of God, and so it made more sense. Empire Comics hasn't really been pushed as hard as Wraith of God has, so I thought it'd make more sense to do Wraith of God.
As soon as the Empire is established in our Empire Comics,
that's right.
Yeah.
Dan says I can hardly wait to color Garbage Man. Give me some pages, Aaron, soon, please. It's going to be a couple months yet. Dan, sorry, I got to get through Wraith of God first.
Yeah, his main focus, and it is. Tough. His brain is going to so many different directions, and it's kind of how I describe teaching is like you're juggling 12 balls at once and half of them are on fire. Your brain is just like all over the place. And we're both just kind of in this mode. So
Peyton
we're
wants
going
to
to get together.
Everything has to be about color nowadays.
Right. We don't want to be canceled.
See, Geek says that should come in red. I could do it. Well, it's kind of a burnt red.
Why not offer both? Well,
because then I have to print
you have to have a minimum order.
Yep.
So yeah, you can sleep when you're dead, Aaron.
I've always said that, and I'm getting closer to sleeping. I can just say that. Angel Maroney made his first appearance in Wraith of God 1. The Angel Maroney, maybe that's what Ethan told you.
Evil one. No, it's just a metaphor of what it's like to teach. So my sub, bless his heart, love him, and he's awesome. He's great with the kids. Just been new to teaching.
Wait a minute.
I wasn't done speaking.
I know, but
how do you
I'm
going to swear?
No, because of the balls thing.
Oh, my bad. But he did email me, says, wow, teaching is so hard. And we have great kids. It's not the dealing with the kids or behavior or anything, but it is. There's so much like the man behind the curtain, and your brain there's so much input at the same time of monitoring behavior and kids and facial expressions and understanding and where you're headed next and what you're saying now and how this relates to previous material and how it's going to relate in the future. There's just a lot going on.
There is.
Yeah.
We have somebody in the green room, but I'm going to make you sit there for a minute, Graham, because I want to do one quick feature and then we'll bring you in. This is a new feature to the show, and I have to share something that I found.
Oh. I like that. What the heck? What is it?
I edited that music myself. Okay. Wow, that's huge.
It's ginormous.
Wow, that's huge. What's he talking about?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, see this?
Yeah, I see it.
Shelley, do you see anything that looks similar in those two things to you?
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same character.
Isn't that amazing? Well, it is the same character.
Oh, but look at the back thing.
This is a drawing from Excalibur that I did of Doctor Strange on the left.
Yes.
And then they came out with the toy on the right.
Oh,
You notice the smoke,
no
like the smoke on the
bueno.
bottom, and then the background's the same.
Yeah, the hand.
The hand. Did they send me one?
No.
Is my art on the box? No.
Any money? Do you ever get money for toys?
Only if I design them. They hire me to design them.
Oh.
Otherwise,
Oh.
no.
Well, that's
what I call. It's just outrageous. So, but I just
wish.
Just wanted to share that.
Like lack of integrity was painful. Just like lying was painful. There's not enough pain meds in the world to keep them upright.
Where's your check,
Right.
Aaron?
That's what I'm asking.
Non-existent. Thank you so much.
Wow.
But anyway, Richie Dupe says, "Hail Aaron, hail Ed Shelley, and hail Comicsgate, hail the chat, and cow pies to all." I don't really understand that.
It's fine.
I have that Doctor Strange. Looks like Vincent Price. Well, it looks like I designed it though.
That the face almost looks like a little like a what's his butt?
That guy who did
Patrick
that stuff?
Swayze.
Like,
I see Patrick Swayze in that face. Am I
don't know.
hallucinating?
Anyway, I just wanted to share that. So,
okay.
Now, everybody, I want you to put your hands together and give a warm welcome to one of the favorites in the CG universe, one of the top creators. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who brought us the Chenoo.
The Chenoo.
He brought us Alien Alamo.
He did.
And now he's bringing us the Ghosts of Matacumba Key.
Yes.
It's our favorite, Graham Nolan. Woo! Hey, Graham.
You kids, that's enough about you. Talk more about me.
Pshaw.
Oh, man.
Hello, Leprestes. How is everybody tonight?
How are you? How many feet of snow now?
Close to 6. About 5 feet where I'm at, and 6 feet where my brother had just moved from Atlanta to.
Oh man!
Park, yeah.
Shock.
Do you guys, when you know that snow's coming, do you just say, "Okay, we're buying 2 weeks worth of groceries"? Because you can't drive in that, right?
Oh no, there's a driving ban.
Yeah, so you guys are you are homebound until it melts off.
Well, you got to dig yourself out, and you got to dig the street out, and then the plows come by and they plow you back in. And then you got to dig that out.
Oh man!
I pulled a back muscle today, my lower back. Shoveling some of the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So not as young as you used to be.
I know. Someday my brain will realize that.
Yeah, we keep trying to figure that out, but no.
Here's one for you. Don't you love this when people come up to you at a convention and say, "Hi, Graham, remember me?"
Of course.
How you been?
How are you?
How's the wife?
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. So Graham, have you ever had Marvel or DC lift a drawing of yours and turn it into something else and never say thanks, or here's a little something for the effort?
Well, I didn't do, the stuff I ever did for Marvel, I don't think they ever used for anything. The stuff I've done for DC, typically I've gotten paid for, but there's been a few times where they took concepts of mine, like when I wrote Superman the Odyssey, there was a sequence where I had Clark Kent, it was Clark Kent at the time, and he was trying to discover, who he was. So he's traveling the world, and he's at this monastery, and there's a statue that has these green stones in it, and the green stones are kryptonite. And it's the first time he ever encounters kryptonite without knowing what it is, because he walks by it and he gets in pain and sick and all that kind of stuff. And they use that same scene in an episode of Smallville.
Nice.
No special thanks to.
No.
Wow.
Oh, special thanks, please. They did The Dark Knight Rises. They used Bane in the whole damn movie, and they didn't even give us credit.
Yeah.
You guys didn't even get mentioned at the end of the film kind of stuff?
Nope.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm hoping they at least gave you some money, but sometimes it's just to be able to say, oh my gosh, our son has 2 movie credits, for goodness sakes, when he was doing special effects.
Zero,
like Planet Hulk. What was it? The Planet Hulk thing? They came to our house to interview him for the extras on the DVD.
For the animated
nothing.
movie. I got no screen credit or anything, and I'm on the special DVD being interviewed as one of the artists, and I got no credit.
Yeah. So my job was to try to keep the dog quiet. This is when
and no
other
money.
dog. Yeah, no money, no credit.
Oh, until I complained. They might have sent me a check after I complained to them, which is the same thing that happened when I didn't get mentioned in the Thor movie, Thunderpants or Thunderstruck or Love and Thunder. What was it called? I don't know. I don't know.
I like Thunderpants. I'm going with that one.
I like Thunderpants.
Well, who was it? I think it was Matt Haley came up in when we were in Studio Source back in the 90s with a team called was it Thunderpants and Battle Britches and Thunderpants and Battle Britches. They were a team.
I like that.
I liked our team what was ours?
Well, we had this thing called Chicks, and there was this parody of like female superheroes. The whole book was just chicks, right? With an X. And we did it through Image. We did actually 2 issues and made a little bit of money. And so we were constantly in the studio trying to think up chicks names, like Iron Ann and Gal XZ. That was the Galactus character. And so then I came up with Joan of Arkansas, and she was like right out of who did the Al Cap? It was like an Al Cap type character.
Oh yeah.
And Shelley came up with her sidekick called
Sweet Potato Pie.
I love it.
Hey, look at that. Geek Avengers throwing $20 away. Thank you so much.
Man.
I like how they mirrored Aaron's drawing to hijack it for the layout of the sculpture. Marvel is owned by Disney. Both are bottom feeders. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. This is pie money for the holidays. And
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Geek. We make our own around here, so I'm going to use that to buy pie ingredients and then make it. And when I'm eating it, I'll think of you and Squeaky. So thank you so much for that. Graham, all right. Before we get into life about Graham and comics and the ghosts of Metacumba Key, people would be, shall I say, remiss if you and I didn't have a little conversation about monsters.
Probably.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
And he
does this to me all the time. It'll be all right.
I want you to tell me which of these guys.
Where are you going?
Oh, hang on a second.
There you go.
Okay, which of these guys, considering the time factor, and I'm not taking Rick Baker, all those guys, modern, even Dick Smith, who's more modern, will take Lon Chaney Sr. And Franklin Pierce, right? Or Jack Pierce. I always say it's Jack Pierce.
Yeah.
Which of these guys do you think was better? Do you prefer? Was more of a pioneer? How would you compare these two guys?
I would say you almost couldn't compare them because Lon Chaney Jr. applied his own makeup, so he was at a much more disadvantage than say Jack Pierce, who was working on somebody else. Because you know what it's like. You have to look in the mirror, and you'd have to doing that all yourself. And he created a lot of the prosthetic type techniques, I think, that Jack ended up using. Now Jack was a little bit more prolific in what he could do, and I don't think there's anything better than the Boris Karloff Frankenstein makeup.
Well, if you look at these guys and just look at iconic images, right? You've got Lon Chaney Sr. as Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame,
right?
And then London After Midnight, of course, which is lost, but we'd still have stills from it, right? Probably his 3 most known makeups. And then you have Jack Pierce, Frankenstein, Karloff's Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and then probably the Mummy, wouldn't you say?
Well, the Bride, too.
Ah, the Bride, too. That's very iconic.
And Werewolf of London.
But that's right. He did Werewolf of London, too, didn't he?
Yeah.
I look at Lon Chaney Sr.'s little makeup kit there he's holding out. And it's just stunning to me what he created, what he did to his own face.
Yeah.
To create those looks.
Well, the torture he did too, putting that nose up, having to have that thing yanked up and then those teeth, the Hunchback, he had himself strapped in with like these leather straps and stuff, contorting himself, and yet he still had to climb up and bounce around like an ape. Pretty amazing. He must have been a pretty strong guy too.
I would think so. Well, considering how big, I don't know how big he was. I'd have to go look, but considering that Lon Chaney Jr. was was he 6'2", 6'3"?
6'2", yeah.
So he was a big guy. So you got to assume Lon was too. But
I don't think so.
Really?
I think Cheney Sr. was only about, maybe my height, 5'9", 5'10".
Really? So
Yeah.
he must have married a healthy woman, as they'd say back in the day.
Yes. And I'll just say this. I never once believed that Claude Rains was Lon Chaney Jr.'s father in The Wolfman. Here comes this towering Gom, well, hello, father, I'm back from America. And
it's like, I want to see his mom, right?
Yeah. His mother was the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, she's like 6'5", and oh my goodness.
Well, we have to recognize the Brohawks in the house.
Oh, David Williams is in the house. Welcome, David. Thanks for joining us.
Yo.
So you won't even, that's a good point. But you would have to say that Lon Chaney Sr. was really sort of the father of film makeup, right? Because there was nobody doing what he did until he did it that I'm aware of.
That kind of makeup, that horror makeup.
Yeah, I mean,
transformative makeup. Yeah, I would agree.
And like you said, Pierce just kind of had to have obviously been aware of Chaney's work, and it had to have been some sort of inspiration to him. But Pierce did such iconic work, and as well, I was just curious if you had, if you had to pick one or the other in a, not as a partner in a street fight, but in a, to create a makeup effect for you.
Yeah.
It'd be tough, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know that Chaney could have done it for somebody else, though. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's
he was using himself as his guinea pig and his own musculature and features and stuff like that. Whereas, Pierce was, I'm not going to say burdened, but the actors were hired. In the case of Boris, he had a choice in that one, but he didn't choose Lon Chaney for the Wolfman or any of the other choices. So he had to make the makeup around their own, features and musculature. So,
excellent point.
Yeah.
And I think Lon Chaney, along with Boris Karloff, probably had the two best faces for creature makeup that I've ever seen. Because they just, for whatever reason, they always looked good in however they were made up. The Mummy is just fantastic. And then, of course, Frankenstein was, next level. And anytime Karloff, he just, the sunken jaw, like you said, he was missing some back teeth, wasn't he, or something?
He took his bridge out.
Yeah, that's it.
And
so
it's
he
so
just had
funny
one of those faces.
The other actors that come in, like the next guy to play the monster, was Lon Chaney Jr., who was well fed. He was a well-fed monster.
He was a well-fed monster.
Yeah, and so they put like a beauty mark there.
Right, I remember that.
Give you the indentation type of look. Which silly.
Baggins and the Banshee, thank you so much for $5. Love you guys. Have a great holiday. The books are the best. Graham and Aaron, you are beyond amazingly talented. Shelley, you're my hero. Look at that. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Goodness sakes.
Okay. Well, so then we'll say it's a draw for a variety of reasons, because I like you have such mutual respect for both of these guys and their work that it would be hard to pick one, but I just wanted to kind of throw it out there because I was thinking about it.
It's almost unfair because of, again, one is doing the makeup for himself and the other is doing the makeup for others. So I think a more fair thing would be to say, what about Jack Pierce and Bud Westmore, or Jack Pierce and Dick Smith? Something like that.
Yeah. Well, Dick Smith didn't get started till the 60s, did he? Didn't he?
Right. Yeah.
So he had a little bit more technology on his side than Pierce did. So I don't know if that's because Dick Smith was incredible. He created the whole air bladder effects that we saw in Altered States. He was the first one to use that stuff.
Yeah.
His age makeup. Yeah. His age makeup was unparalleled. When he would like Dustin Hoffman, a little big man,
right?
Or The Hunger, David Bowie in The Hunger, when he was supposed to be like 150 years old or something, and it was just incredible,
right?
So no one could touch his age makeup as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, yeah. All right, so let me ask you this, and then we'll take a look at your campaign.
That's all right. I love talking about this stuff.
I know. Well, I got more. Okay, so I know what your answer is to the first one, but I'm curious to see where the other ones fall in line. Okay, so place these in order of your favorite monsters. You ready? Frankenstein, Karloff's Frankenstein, of course. Is there any other, as you once famously said?
You can just stop right there. That's number one.
Okay, then we've got the Mummy, the Wolfman, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. I guess that's 4. We can throw the Bride in there too. So that's 5.
Now, we're
Pierce
talking
is
about
best.
the monsters or the movies that they were in?
No, just the monsters.
Just the monsters. Okay, so I got Frankenstein, the Bride, the Wolfman,
Mhm.
the Mummy,
and Creature from the Black Lagoon. So we're just taking at how the creature looked. What was your favorite look of those things?
Well, I think after Frankenstein, the creature is number 2. It's my least favorite of those movies, but I think he's the best looking.
Yeah.
You know, that costume and that Millicent Patrick design on that face still holds up. You don't even have to fiddle with it if you wanted to make a remake. You know, it still looks great.
Okay, so that's 2. Put them in order for me.
In order. All right. So then after that,
I'm getting pushed you on my own show. Come on, Graham, play the game right.
I feel like I'm in that quiz show again.
Bro,
Is this a daily double?
Can I go to the chat?
Only if you get it right.
Yeah, I can go to the chat, right?
Well,
I have to say I love the Bride is next. There's something about that look that I just love. So I got Frankenstein, Creature, the Bride. Now the Mummy is this, it's like 2 different mummies.
I'm talking the one at the beginning of the movie that we don't get to see anywhere near enough of.
Oh yeah.
Because that was just spectacular.
Yeah, that's spectacular. But unfortunately, we don't get to see him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with the Mummy next, and then the Wolfman last.
I'm almost with you, but I'm going to go. I love the creature, so I'm going to go Frankenstein number 1.
you're right.
I'm just like you, and I'm going to go with the creature number 2. Number 3, though, the Mummy. I love that makeup. I watched that movie just the other day, and just the first 15 minutes of it, and I was like, why didn't they keep him in that mummy makeup for a little bit longer,
No.
But it was fantastic. And the Wolfman is my 5th, and Bride would be 4th. I was never a big fan of that Lon, and maybe it's just Lon Chaney. I much prefer Werewolf of London for whatever reason. I just thought he was more interesting looking. Maybe it was because he wore the hat. I don't know. And the overcoat. I always like a Wolfman that's likes to get dressed up before he goes out.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Lon Chaney got dressed up too, because he was there in his wife beater, and the next scene he's out on the moors and he's got a buttoned up shirt.
That's right.
Then they find him in bed that night, and he's changed again back into his wife beater. So
maybe he was cold. He might have been cold. You're out there on the moors. It's wet and it's cold. You want a long sleeve shirt, probably.
I like when he's frozen as the Wolfman. He thaws out and he's got bare feet, and then the next scene he's wearing shoes. So he's like Superman used to keep like his Clark Kent clothes in his special pocket in his cape. So I figured the Wolfman's got a special pocket for his shoes or something.
Maybe his clothes got frozen in a different iceberg right next to him, or an ice floe right next to him, and he was, David wants to know, do either of you gents like any of the monster movie modern remakes? Well, if you're talking about remakes of the classics, what do we have to choose from?
Yeah, there's really nothing much. The Invisible Man that just came out like 2 years ago was outstanding.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Dan wants to know, where is he?
Yeah.
He says, what about the Invisible Man? Where's that line up? I don't really look at that. I mean, I guess the wrapping is a makeup effect. That was kind of iconic and interesting looking, but.
Oh, yeah, because if you had said the Invisible Man, I'd throw him right up there towards the top, because I just.
Oh, really? You really like that?
It's one of my favorite of the Universal monster movies, because Claude Rains is so great in it. And that John C. Fulton effect, they use that for 50 years. And they still use parts of it. The same kind of idea of the idea of a green screen, or they put the actors in velvet, and blacked them out and silhouetted them to cut out all that stuff frame by frame. And it's pretty amazing, considering it was 1932, 33, Invisible Man.
I want to It was, yeah. I want to say
33,
32, but don't
Yeah.
don't hold it gun to my head because I'm not 100% sure.
But Invisible Man is so awesome.
Look
He
at
pulls
this.
off the nose and
Yeah.
you've been mad.
And then he ran around
No,
naked in the
man.
snow. He ran around naked in the snow. That's got to be cold. Grey Wolf Graphics says, I've never watched Creature from the Black Lagoon. I can't find it.
Oh no.
That's almost heretical.
Oh, you can
Is
rent
that
it
another one of
on
those?
Amazon. You can rent it there.
Yeah.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Angela Curry says, Graham and Aaron, please do another movie watch stream. My favorite brunette was so much fun. That was a great film.
It was good. It was good. It was almost too good.
Yeah. I was looking up and I got distracted, never finished, but I was looking up George Washington Slept Here to see if it was in public domain. That's a Jack Benny movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to watch that if we were able.
The horn blows at midnight.
The horn blows it.
Yeah, that was a Jack Benny movie that he always referenced in his radio programs. I was in The Horn Blows at Midnight. It must have tanked.
Evil One for $2. Thank you so much, Evil One. Again,
Thanks, Evil One.
Your dad's just going to be furious that you're making me rich. They should remake Monster Squad, guys. Monster Squad was like an 80s movie, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's like 30 years ago now, so I guess you could remake it,
Oh my
right?
gosh. Yeah, we think,
Isn't that
80s.
horrible?
Oh, and then you think, oh, wait. Yeah.
It's freaking
It's not
horrible.
bad. The creatures that what's the guy's name who did the Alien or Aliens? He had the creature shop. He did Predator.
Are you? You're talking about the makeup guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's guy Josh worked for. Stan Winston.
Yeah. Stan Winston did the designs, and his creature design was really cool looking for that movie that they were talking about.
I don't think I saw it. I remember seeing the movie poster when it came out, and it just didn't sell me. But I guess, are you telling me it's pretty good? It's worth watching?
Yeah, it's worth watching. I mean, a lot of people, it's sort of a cult thing. A lot of people, I think younger than us, like, but it's also very dated. And the kids, the problem when you make the kids the protagonist in any story is writing them believably.
Yes.
And these kids speak and say things that adults would say, right. I find them rather annoying, most of them.
And getting performances out of the kids that is, that are good too is another challenge. And Spielberg obviously very good at it, but a lot of guys are not. I don't know. Did you see what was the Schwarzenegger movie?
Kindergarten?
No, not the Last Picture Show. It was the doggone it, where he's like a character who comes out of the film into reality, and there's like this and this
hero?
Last Action Hero. That was it.
Oh, okay.
And the kid in that is like sort of the main thing, and he's horrible.
Oh, geez.
And otherwise, it's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
Real fun Schwarzenegger film. I mean, it's Arnold's being Arnold, but
right.
There's a lot of fun stuff in it, a lot of movie references. But the kid is so bad, he can't carry the film, and it ruins it. So,
are you guys fans of A Christmas Story?
Yes.
Well, there's a sequel to it that just got released on HBO Max. Hey, Ethan.
Hey, Ethan.
Look at that. 40 years ago. Of course, he's talking about the Monster Squad, or the 80s was 40 years ago. That was his joke. He was embarrassed of it. What did we miss?
The movie. I was in the movie.
Oh, the Jack Benny.
I'm thinking.
Oh,
that's what Ethan means.
That was his joke. He was embarrassed of it. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Graham.
Anyway, this sequel to it has like Ralphie is the guy who plays Ralphie, Billingsley. He and Vince Vaughn produced this movie, and it's such a love letter to the original show. It's almost seamless how it captures Ralphie today and his family. And he has to go home because his father, the old man, has died, and he has to recapture Christmas the way his old man could. And he has his own kids and stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. The only negative thing I have to say is Melinda Dillon, the mother.
Yes.
Retired from acting some years ago, so she's not in it. And they hired Julie Haggerty to play the mother. And
from Airplane.
And she's off model in script in her character somewhat.
How long ago did this come out?
The new one?
Yeah.
It just got released last week, I think.
Okay, good. Because I saw a trailer for it. I thought, is this new or is it something that's old that's just making its rounds again?
Yeah,
I saw that trailer and I thought it looked fun. So
it's touching, it's sweet, it's funny, and they really captured the flavor of A Christmas Story. So I highly recommend it.
Cool.
All right, cool.
This is something.
Dan Lawless says the Christmas Story house was exactly like I remember my grandpa's house in Detroit. Detroit back in the good old days, you mean? Oh, look at this. Someone's saying De Niro's Frankenstein.
Oh, look at that face. Ooh, no.
Kenneth Branagh,
like it.
right? Wasn't Branagh the director of that?
No, well, wait a minute. Maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think
and
you're
he
right.
played Dr. Frankenstein too.
Right. That's right. And then there was The Bride with Sting and Jennifer Beals in it.
Right.
Which was the best part of that movie was the relationship between the Frankenstein monster and the bride. The stuff with Sting in it was the boring stuff. You know, so it was kind of like I liken it to the second Tim Burton Batman film, where the stuff with Batman and Catwoman and Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle is the best part of the movie. And if they'd cut out the Joker the Penguin and
the Max Schreck character.
Yeah, Max Schreck. I was trying to think of the actor. I couldn't think of what's his face.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. If they cut that crap out, that actually would have been a good movie. But look at this. Geek Avenger says Branagh as Frankenstein was pretty badass. So,
I like Branagh.
I don't know. De Niro doesn't have the physical stature to pull that off. You know, he has the mean-spiritedness, but
yes, he does. You know, he must have had an inkling that Trump was going to be president when he played.
Yeah, and he started getting pissed off with the monster role. Yeah.
Getting angry.
All right, we've got one thing here before we delve into your personal life, Graham, that I like to call our precious moments from yesteryear. So we're going to run this little clip from things from our youth gone by. So
okay.
So pay attention to your monitors, chat, and let's see what we've got this week.
Nosferatu.
It's not Nosferatu.
Okay.
Like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Oh, so precious.
I don't know how you feel about Airplane, but that's a funny movie.
Oh, I love it. Let's just see who was standing next to him in the first clip.
It was from the thing from Another World. What's his name?
Toby.
Yes.
Wow.
Leave it to you to bring it full circle to some monster film or horror film. I shouldn't ask you this because we're going to get in a fight, but I'm going to ask you anyway since you brought it up. So you really prefer the original thing from Another World to Carpenter's remake. Yes. Now, do you not like Carpenter's remake at all, or
no? I like it.
Okay, we're fine then. All right, because I really like, and maybe I'm just because I'm kind of a honk for practical effects, but I thought the Thing stuff and that, and plus I love Kurt Russell and the whole. I really like that movie. The original is great. It's classic. Don't get me wrong, but I really like the Carpenter one, and I was thinking, if Graham comes on here and tells me that he doesn't like Carpenter's remake, we're gonna have this is gonna go right back to Star Trek.
Oh, no,
I like it. I just prefer the other one for a lot of reasons.
There you go. There's Aldion saying, I do like both things. He doesn't like one thing; he likes both things, and I think that's
one thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Red one, blue one.
All right, Graham, we're going to take a look at your campaign.
All right.
And then we're going to do a deep dive into the mind of Graham Nolan.
Uh-oh.
Is there anybody in the chat who hasn't backed it? That's what I want to know. I see a lot of familiar faces here, and they all look
you and I share a similar audience, I'm afraid. Mm-hmm. Which means they have good taste, right?
That's right.
All right, let's take a look at this.
I think you gotta share the sound tab.
Ghost of Madakumaki. Ethan's ruined me forever with that. Every time I hear this song.
I know. Can hardly hear the volume.
Are you not getting volume?
No, it's very low.
I got to tell you, man, I love that tracking shot through the swamp at the end of that video. That is so cool.
That is cool.
All right. Graham, tell us about this, if you would, please.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this book because I've been leaving breadcrumbs through my other books about my connecting my universe, and this one is going to do it by the end. So we're following these two characters, Mike Meathead Rutowski and Misty Fahrenheit, who are private investigators. And they are called in because a crime boss in Miami who is building a resort in the Keys has uncovered these cars with bodies in them. And the cars are left over from the 1935 hurricane that wiped through Matacumba Key and killed like 500 people. Most powerful hurricane to ever hit the United States. And that's actually true. They did find cars with license plates from 1935, like 25 years later, uncovered in the sand. Wow. And so Misty has a connection with the other world, and so the ghosts reach out to her, and they need her help because something bad happened. Other than everybody getting killed in 1935, something bad happened then too. And so she has to put them at rest, and they got to stay alive because they're pissing off this crime boss too, in what they're going to uncover. So it's a mystery story, it's an adventure story, it's a romance story, it's a crime story, and it's all wrapped up and will connect the Chenoo, Alien Alamo, Joe Frankenstein, and Monster Island all together.
That's very cool. So we've got a couple of what looks like cover options here. This is your main cover, correct? Mm-hmm. Then we go to the kind of old EC kind of feeling cover, right?
Yeah.
This is the glow in the dark black and white cover option, right? That's the one I got.
Cool.
Yeah. So the logos, all the logos will be glow in the dark material.
Okay.
On that one, yeah.
Cool. And then Kelly Jones, you got Kelly to come in there and do something really gruesome, which is very, very cool.
And that'll be an embossed cover.
Okay. And now talk a little bit about this black and white one here now.
That's the newest one that I added. This is going to be not just the cover in black and white, but all the original black and white in gray tone line work. There's no color. All the color will be removed from it. So it'll be how I originally drew it. So you can see the the original thought processes of, how I present the artwork before colors added to it.
Excellent. That's a really cool idea. Okay. These I think are cool. Tell me about these challenge coins.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to do these. I had gotten one. Somebody had sent me one, a Phantom one, a fan some years ago, and they were really cool. They're heavy and they're big. And I thought it might be neat to do a series of them for all my properties, So this is the first in the series. Then we'll do a Chenoo one, an Alien Alamo one. And then we'll do a series 2, which will include Joe Frankenstein and Monster Island. Because next year in 2023 is the 25th anniversary of Compass Comics and Monster Island. So I'm going to do a big launch that year.
So do you have a perk specifically for these coins?
Yes.
On here? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're also add-ons too. So like if you picked another perk and you wanted to add them on, you could add them on at checkout.
Cool. So you're doing commissions as well.
Yep. And it's half price commissions if you pick a Compass Comics character.
Oh, look at that. There's a deal.
Yeah.
We got colors by the great Greg Wright. I remember when he was one of the first editors ever worked for at Marvel. I mean, that was a long time ago. This, of course, is the death of Art. We assume the death of Art Taber.
That's an assumption.
That's an assumption. But he was probably more worried about his dog and then the ghost gets him.
Oh.
So he's going to get his face ripped off one way or another. I can feel it.
It's probably the dog that'll do it.
Yeah. the ghosts, they leave him alone, but the dog, beware the dog.
Yeah.
And of course, Kelsey makes an appearance here. I keep saying that, but that's not Kelsey.
No, that's not Kelsey.
But I really like this page. I mentioned this to you on Comics 8 Kings, I think, the other night.
Yeah.
I just like the storytelling on this page is really, really cool. It has those last couple panels really kind of have a adventure strip feel to them. You know, the plane going down and the explosion at the end and the guys in the foreground. Just really, really good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Got a mini print here. That's really cool.
Yeah, Dan Lawless.
Yes, our own Dan Lawless colored that.
Chat here.
Yeah. And then, of course, now you still have some mini prints from Alamo available.
Yes, I do.
The Cyberfrog mini print still available.
Yep. Yeah, I printed tons of those.
Excellent. Okay, and then down here is just the black and white artwork that.
Yeah.
Is this you've offered up for sale?
Yeah, all those are. Well, the first two that you just showed already sold.
Okay.
That one and that one. The Alien Alamo one is still available.
Okay. And then you've got shirts.
Yeah.
Look at that. Ooh, see, he's got that earthy green too, like my cap. I like that.
The cap is a little bit lighter, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, swamp green.
Yeah, there you go.
Yours is more of a khaki.
Well, I do have a swamp green on my garbage man shirts. Yeah. So we have all these shirt options, bookmarks, babe bookmarks. You can never go wrong with that.
Yeah, bookmarks. That's a stretch goal that's already been hit.
Right. And you have these books available as add-ons as well from your previous campaigns.
Right.
Look,
and you notice there's an Alien Alamo ash can there. And there's a Ghost of Medical McKay ash can as well that was just added last week.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
That'll collect all the layouts of the story. So it's a great opportunity for artists or people that are trying to learn storytelling to look at the process. You can see the layouts, you can see the thought processes, and then you can compare it with the printed book.
Excellent. Yep. Eric Winberg sends $2 my way. Thank you. He says, "Fun stream, guys." And he has the animated Captain Kirk avatar there. So
I like it.
We like that. Do you have a Reader's Digest explanation of Spin Rack for people out there that may not be familiar with what you're doing with that?
Spin Rack is going to be an entertainment tech company that Chuck Dixon and I are involved with. That we're going to be using our IPs to create games. We're starting off with a mobile game, then a fighting game, and then a metaverse game, which will connect our properties together. There'll also be comics, merchandise around our properties, and what we're calling utility tokens that you can use. You can earn and purchase and then use them for actual real world things too. So
this is all digital format stuff, right?
Well, yes and no. There's digital stuff, but then there's also hard copy stuff too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We're kind of expanding, comics in different ways.
Excellent. Well, no one's ever accused you of putting all your eggs in one basket, Graham. That's for sure.
Smart.
So anyway, the link to Graham's campaign, as well as the link to my Wraith of God Bloodhunters campaign, if you got to have monster stuff, then you got to be back in our books. That's for sure,
boys.
But yeah, so the links are both in the description of this video for the campaigns. They'll take you right there, so you can back and order and all that kind of fun stuff. And so we will check back on this near the end of the show. But for right now, I got a couple questions I want to ask Mr. Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Don't worry, Eric. We're not going to stop making comics. This is just an extension of doing comics and another way to expand our reader base and stuff. But comics are the heart and soul of what we're going to
make it more fun.
Yeah, and
more interactive.
Yeah, and you're going to be branching out to a different audience, or that has a younger audience, I would assume.
Exactly.
That, is not so print friendly as us older folks are. Oh, wait a minute. Horror Mike here. The gruesome demise of Art to Bear. Those pages are freaking awesome. There you go.
Thanks,
I
Mike.
don't know if he thinks they're awesome just because you drew them, or they're awesome because you're killing Art to Bear. And it may be a combination of both. It could be both.
We love both.
Could be both. Okay, so go way back when we both had hair, Graham, and you're working on Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And you, of course, are co-creator of Bane. Tell me how that all came about. In other words, you did Chuck give you a heads up, or did he just send you the script and say, hey, we got this new villain, I need you to design him? How did that all go down?
No, the script wasn't written yet. The design of Bane, we had to lock down first. We didn't have a name for him yet, though. But Chuck had developed, with some help from Denny O'Neil, the character traits of who he was. You know, it basically started out with the idea of, well, what if Batman had a villain who was an evil Doc Savage? You know, and then you threw a little, Man in the Iron Mask type of stuff into it. And so, I got notes from Chuck about like where he was going to be raised. I knew he was going to be raised. He had to serve his father's prison term as a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew he was in some kind of podunk, Banana Republic Island prison, something like that. And so that's how I came around the idea of modeling him after luchador looks, because I figured that might be the only exposure to any kind of costuming would be that from where he was growing up, and he's Latino too. So I wanted to put that aspect to it into him. And then the other thing I had to come up with was we knew Venom was going to be a part of the storyline, and because Denny had done that story called Venom with Garcia Lopez for Legends of the Dark Knight, and
that's where Batman gets addicted to drugs, right?
Exactly. He's looking for an edge, and he comes across this super steroid, but it messes him up, and so we knew that was going to be a part of it, and that Bane was going to be using it. Bane's basically a drug addict too. I mean, he relies on it, to keep his edge. And he's one of they're testing it on him, and of course, he's one of the few survivors who can survive the venom. But we needed a way to administer it to him, because we couldn't have him sticking needles into his arm, injecting it into him, especially back then.
Right.
So I came up with the idea of like a device that he would press the button and it would shoot the stuff up into the back of his skull and directly into his brain. And I stole that from Steve Ditko in a certain respect, because, I remember those drawings that he would do about Spidey's web shooter and his belt, and he had the little packets of web stuff on his belt, and he would throw the packet into his web shooter. And I thought that was a great idea. So, I came up with this thing on his wrist, and then he'd press the button and the stuff would shoot up. But then if you look at Bane's belt, it's all these little rectangles, and the rectangles match the size of the thing on here. And we never showed him doing it, but those were all the packets of venom, and he would take the venom pack, slap it in, and press the button.
Right.
I don't think we ever showed that in a comic.
Interesting. So you worked up your character design, gave it to Denny and obviously Chuck. How many go rounds did you go, do you think, before you came up with something that everybody was happy with? Really? Look at you go.
Nice.
First try. The only thing that was different, and I didn't have, the only thing that I had changed from my initial sketch to the approved ink drawing was I had a lot more wires going into them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was too much. So I pared it down to 4 wires from the skull to the neckline, and then the 1 wire coming up the arm, and that goes into the main port there. And then the other thing was the mask was adjusted, because the original approved drawing had Bane's nose, mouth, and eyes exposed. The design of the mask was the same, and the shapes of everything was the same. But editorial decided they wanted to make him more mysterious and to cover it up. So we put the red lenses in, covered the nose and the mouth. But my thinking of it was utilitarian, because if you've ever worn a mask on Halloween, you know how hot it is in there. You can't breathe. And the luchadors have their mouths and noses exposed for a reason.
Right.
They're fighting, they're sweating, they're exerting themselves. So it made sense in that case, in that way, to me, to do it that way. But also from an artistic sense, I could have him emote.
Right. You can show some emotion. Sure.
But I think it was a good call to close it all up and make it more mysterious, and it doesn't have to be as realistic.
Right. Well, it's more comic booky, I think. And that's kind of what you're going for. It kind of had that more of a super villain feel, and rather than maybe somebody, just wearing a ski mask or something with a little decorations, and it felt more, super villainish. So I get that.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Yeah, a good call.
Did you guys have any contracts or anything back then or did you just trust them that you weren't going to get jobbed when, some royalty stuff? I mean, I don't even know if back then we really thought that much about this is going to end up in a TV show or a movie, but did they have contracts back then for creating characters?
At that point, when Paul Levitz was there, they had started doing equity contracts. So if you created something, you could sign an equity contract, which guaranteed you percentages and stuff like that anytime they use it for anything else. Later on, you had to request that stuff, and they didn't tell artists about it. So a lot of stuff didn't get claimed, and they didn't get contracts on. But during that period, when Dick Giordano was there and Paul Levitz and Jeanette Kahn, they were good people that cared about the talent,
the creators,
and the creators. And so that was a good time. It was years later, after they got sold, that they tried to move the goalposts and screw us. But that's another story.
That's right. Well, we all remember the good old days, right?
Yeah.
I got to take care of some business in the chat here. If you don't mind, just give me a second here. I don't tolerate this sort of BS in my chat. We'll take care of that. And there's a few.
There's a few. I think you probably missed some.
Eric, you know better than that. Eric, you know better than that. So,
been saving them up.
Well, and then we've got, of course, EVS is in the chat, serenading in his
yes, I can hear his voice right now.
Kumbaki. There it is. So thank you, Ethan, for contributing to the show. Appreciate it. Hey, Graham, what is your favorite and least favorite movie version of Bane, live action or animated? There you go. That's a good question. Do you have one?
I hate all the live action.
Okay.
But the cartoons, I loved the first one, the animated series, because they really got the character right. They had him Latino. They had Henry Silva doing the voice. And they also used the original mask that I designed. So that one I really love. And then when they did, I think it's Young Justice. They did Bane and Young Justice, and he looks dead on like my design. And they got, what's his name? Machete.
The shortest man in the world.
Danny Trejo. Yeah, to do the voice. I mean, that's the real deal, Yeah. What a great call for that. So I love the two animated versions. I don't like any of the live action versions.
I walked by Danny Trejo at a show in Houston, and I was stunned by how short he was.
Small.
He's like 5'4", and I'm like, this guy's like a killer. It's like I was like putting my elbows on. Has anybody seen Danny Trejo? Right on his head. Oh,
you're brave.
No, I didn't do that. But I was stunned. I thought it was a little kid walking by me. And I looked down and go, that's a pretty old looking little kid.
He's only 5'4"?
Well, he might, if he's 5, he can't be any taller than 5'6". I mean, I'm 6'2", so I'm taller than most guys in comics, but I swear to you, Graham, I thought it was a little kid walking by, and then I did a double take and swear.
No.
So, look at that. Trio killed a man. He may have, but he was probably a very small man. That's all I got to say about that. He's got money. He can take it. Evil One, another $2. Thank you. How do you feel about the Batman Beyond Bane? I think you just, no, you didn't address that, actually.
I haven't really seen much of that one, so I really don't have an opinion.
There you go. All right. Okay, so There's another question I kind of want to bring up, and this is more of a general sort of comic question. We were in the Shadowversity's show last week. We were talking about AI, and I could tell by the disdain on your face. I was trying to hide mine a little bit, kind of play devil's advocate and all of it, but
I'd been drinking wine that night, so
you were just like, you weren't having any of it.
I wasn't having any of it.
But I don't think either one of us are a big fan of AI. But I'm wondering, I was thinking about this because, you know, they would take one of their drawings and run it through the AI 300 times until they got something that they liked, that was polished looking, shiny, you know, style, you know, and they were happy with that, you know, and saying, hey, this is a better drawing, right? And of course, you brought up your point and counterpoint about that, you know, better drawing is subjective. But do you think, and I probably already know your answer to this, but there's obviously, when you're judging maybe isn't the right word, but when you're looking at, say, a comic book artist who may be your favorite, or you might like them more than somebody else, you're obviously you're taking more than, oh, I just like how they draw into account. And I'm wondering if this generation, when I say this generation, I mean younger readers, whatever that age group is, I don't even know now, but do you think that modern comic art is too focused on style and say, wow, I really like the way that drawing looks, as opposed to all the other elements that go into make up a comic?
Well, I would say that the most mainstream comics lack style, unless the style is photorealism or that kind of outline, really soft outline look that almost looks like a Behance Behance drawings. They lack a lot of style. Nobody's actually cartooning. And that's a broad statement. There are people that are. I think Dan Mora is doing an incredible job. I see his stuff on Instagram, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy can draw. But most of the stuff that I do see lack any of that. The John Romita Juniors are gone. The guys who could cartoon and push drawings and stuff like that. And I think that's what's missing. And the thing that really irked me the most about talking about AI was, you know, they wanted to use it in the absence of willing to do the work to get better. They wanted to use it as a tool, and you know, a couple of the guys are saying, well, I don't have the money to hire an artist, and I'm not willing to put the time in to become a good artist. Well, then go dig a ditch. You know, this is what we do. We put the time in to get good enough to compete. You know, when we broke in, we had to compete with John Buscema and everybody else. Now, we didn't get his jobs because we weren't good enough. But we kept working towards that to the point where now we are good enough. You know, we are at that level. Well, maybe not John Buscema, but you know,
right. Well, I think you're right.
You know,
I think
you got to put the time in. You can't just use this tool, and that's great. You know, if it's just a tool, like Photoshop is just a tool. And I'll have a Photoshop brush that I'll use maybe to accentuate leaves or something like that. So I'm not hand drawing leaves all over the place. You know, it's just a tool. But at the same time, I'm utilizing my skills to compose that drawing, to push it beyond any kind of photo reference that ever existed for it, and make it uniquely mine. And that's my biggest gripe with the use of this stuff is it's become the lazy man's tool to say, yeah, I can't draw, so I'll have the machine draw it for me.
And I don't disagree with that, because I remember I had a girlfriend in college, not Shelley, wasn't Shelley. And then when I was in film school, right, and I remember her saying one time, oh, I think I could direct movies. And I just wanted to go, you know, because it was like that insults the entire education process of learning how to do something, right? And then finding out if you actually can do it or not.
And that's just like any job that if you do it well and you make it look easy. So people think, oh, I can do it. Just like how I explained about, teaching is juggling 12 balls at the same time and 6 of them are on fire. But if you're good at it, you kind of make it look easy. They don't realize all the behind the scene things happening and this experience, like they don't want to put the time in to get better. You guys are seasoned veterans.
Well,
you don't just start out being seasoned,
right?
I don't. Like when you do a sketch at a convention and they say how long, they come back in 20 minutes and it's done. And say, how long did it take you to do that? And I say 30 years.
Yeah, right.
That's how long it took me to do it in 20 minutes.
Right. Well,
right.
and that's the interesting thing. And I don't think that people, younger generation people, or people that maybe are not artists, they don't understand how insulting some of that stuff is to us when, and then again, like I said, during that chat, I was saying maybe we're just being grumpy old men, but you kind of feel like, okay, you're shortcutting something so you can achieve a goal that I didn't shortcut, and so to put those two things on the same level, and maybe they're not even doing that. They're just saying this is a way I can, do model sheets or whatever. But we were talking in the future, if this gets to a point where Marvel or DC could say, hey, we don't need to hire any of these clowns. We can just generate our own books with AI and sell that crap to the public, But
when I look at AI stuff, I kind of, these little nuances that when I compare the two, I can tell.
Yeah.
There's just this little, and I'm not a trained artist at all, obviously. I've learned a little bit in the 30 some years, but yeah, it's just, there's something missing that the AI just can't capture, I think.
Well, and the funny thing is, we had a brief chat after that show, and I said it's coming whether you like it or not, and you, Graham, said something to the effect of, yeah, but how useful is it actually going to be? Because remember, they were talking 20 years ago about how they're going to replace actors digitally with, in film, and it's like they still can't. Digital effects are so freaking obvious. They have a style, they have a look, and you can tell if something is. Even though they did the great job on the new Star Wars films, not saying the new Star Wars films are great, but like they put Peter Cushing in there, right? And they did a really, really good job, but you could tell it was fake. It wasn't, it wasn't really a guy acting. It was something they put together on a, computer.
Yep.
And so, it may never get to a point, because how can you integrate into a software program somebody's eye or their soul or their personality?
That's what people saying, there's no sign of soul, and that's kind of that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. But I think even a more interesting question is, Shelley, hold your hand up, will you? With this on and that cap, doesn't she look like a cat burglar or something? Like she's getting ready to go rob our neighbor's house.
I look like an old arthritic woman.
No, you're going to break into somebody's safe, and you got the black clothes on, she's ready to go. She's going to climb out the window.
Even though we don't have snow, we need to be snowbirds. You get out of here in the cold.
Wow. Really,
I don't like to come off. I don't like to come off as a one of these disgruntled old guys, because I'm not. I love technology and I embrace technology. I think it's a great tool. It makes things easier for me. But again, it's just a tool. Whether I'm exchanging a dip pen for a stylus, the things, the processes that I have to go through are still the same. Right. It makes it easier and faster for me to do it, and that's a help, and that's great, and that's what tools are for. But to create something, or to have a machine create something, I think is a cheat, or to rely on it to do so. Like they were talking about doing, I think is a cheat. It just, it means you're not willing to put the work in to learn, the proper way to do something. Because what happens when something goes wrong? What happens when that AI pits something out and it's not right to you, but you don't know why? You don't know why because you don't know, anything about the art form, or, You
Or how
know,
to fix
you don't
it,
know how to create it. That's the problem with a lot of the editors that work in the comics today, is that they might have an inkling that there's a story problem or there's a drawing problem, but they don't have a way to articulate how to fix it or change it. And that's what good editors can do. You know, you can art direct and you can edit on a script level to make something better.
You see something wrong and you can identify why it's wrong. Chris Stanley says he just picked up the Nolan cover package, by the way. There you go.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Chris.
Christina
Much
Lynn
appreciated,
says,
sir.
Digital Luke and Leia look kind of weird in the new Star Wars. Yep, I would agree.
Oh, yeah. How about in, what was that prequel one they did? Not Endor, but it takes Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One. Yeah,
Rogue One. Yeah. Where you get to the end, you know, and it's you know, Leia turns around and she's got those Polar Express dead eyes, you know.
Yeah.
It'll make us run screaming. It's the ghost of Medical.
You know what? Less is more. We know who she is. We just put her in that same position, bent over, fiddling with R2D2. We don't need to zoom around and see her face. We know who she is just by what she's wearing and with the hairdo. You're telling the story perfectly, and you're ruining it by the limitations of your technology to have her turn around and be like.
And again, just because you have a tool doesn't mean that it's applicable or useful in every situation either.
I remember that scene now that you said it. And I was like the same way as going, I don't like that. L.E. Munoz says, I've seen some inspiring AI art, some even stunning. I think we need to look at the bigger picture. There's a however in there. Machine learning is a civilization disruptor. I know. It's like, how much longer, if you keep going on these paths, are we seriously going to end up like WALL-E?
Right.
You know, just a bunch of gelatin people floating around in chairs. We don't ever have to do anything or challenge ourselves anymore. I mean, it's or
worse than that, end up like the Terminator, you know.
Oh my gosh,
Cyberdyne, or what was the name of that company?
Oh right, what was the name of it? All I remember is everybody dying. What was the name of that company where they made the?
I think it was Cyberdyne. Wasn't it
might be. Well, someone in here will know.
Yeah.
Look at that. Maybe not a popular opinion, but I really like Rogue One. Skynet. That's it. Skynet. There you go.
Good job,
Mike Kennard coming in big. Thank you so much, Mike.
I swear there was something with
Cyberdyne now. Exactly.
Just because it exists doesn't mean you have to accept it or tolerate it. That's in more more ways than more different avenues.
Cyberdyne system.
The Cyberdyne system created by Skynet. There you go. See, you were partially right.
Kind of, I don't know. Everything they want to replace.
Skynet was the AI program. Okay, Cyberdyne was the company. Yeah.
Becoming a gelatin person sounds like a great goal.
I'm halfway there. Awesome.
Hang on a second here. There was one other one I wanted to pull out of here, and I can't find it. Biden is kind of like that now. Well, yeah.
Could be.
He's kind of a CGI. What if he was?
He is AI, isn't he?
Yeah, he might be a CGI person. He might even be real.
Well, if he just didn't speak, it'd be better. But what was that? There was a Star Trek episode where they had the guy propped up, but he was dead.
Oh, you mean in the chair? Christopher Pike?
It just, like there's
a menagerie.
Let's talk about
patterns of force.
Patterns of force. Hang on a second. Oh! You're talking about the Nazi one where the guy? Yeah,
yeah.
I thought she was talking about Christopher Pike in his chair, but you're talking about they had him all drugged up, and he was
all drugged up, and he's like,
Well, that's him at his best. But like again, we want to talk about soulless. Let's go there.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. I hadn't even thought of that. That is a great Joe Biden right there, right? Oh my gosh.
That or Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Gosh, right. I like it.
Dredd just wrote that Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's funny.
Evil One says Trump is going to expose Biden as a hologram.
Hologram.
He's going to go and reach into this debate stage and just swipe right through him.
It's a glitch every time you can't say a word, right? In programming.
Oh my goodness. Well, those were kind of the things I wanted to address. We usually go about an hour and a half, and that's where we're at, Graham. So let's take a look at your campaign real quick again, if you don't mind. I'm sure you don't.
I don't. I mind. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't show it. Are you out of your mind?
Don't you show my campaign? It's shadow banned.
Of course, the links are. That's right.
That's right. So you guys
I was gonna bring
join us
that
in
up.
fighting the shadow ban because
Yeah.
Break the ban.
Graham and I are both shadow banned, but that doesn't mean you can't back. You just have to follow the
right.
direct link,
In fact,
which you will
back
find.
again because you want to support freedom.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Back once because you like the project. Back twice for freedom.
Our enemies hate us, so that means
That's
they hate
right.
you.
That's right. That's right. If you support us, they hate you too. So anyway, again, let's real quickly. Graham's got 4 cover options here. The Ghosts of Matacumba Key. This is the regular option. Very nice.
Mhm.
The EC option.
There's the ash can, by the way, over there on the right.
Ashcan edition. There it is.
Yeah.
The entire. I got to get my little pointer over here on screen. Right in there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
The entire book. Now you're doing every page in the book.
Yep.
How long is the story?
Well, it depends. I've got pages going to
About.
be added as stretch goals, but it'll be no less than 64 pages. It'll probably be closer to 80.
Okay, so that ash can is going to be however many pages the book is. You're going to show everything.
Yep.
I mean, when I say he's going to show everything, I don't mean he's going to show everything. I mean he's going to show everything about the project.
It's a family show.
That's right. We want to keep it clean. See, mine's only 48 pages, so I'm not showing everything. But Graham,
the ash can.
Graham's showing everything in his ash can.
Showing everything.
There it is.
Getting it done.
Then we got the glow in the dark black and white,
jar.
which I could not resist.
Yep.
Because like Graham Nolan, I am a Universal Monster old movie horror fan. And to me, this kind of was like, this is a 1950s movie right here. That's what the cover would look like.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then
the interiors on that one are full color, just like all the other books.
Right. It's not a black and white book. It's a
There's
color
a black
book,
and white book
with a
layer.
glow in the cover.
Yeah.
Right. Then you've got the Kelly Jones, and you said it was embossed.
Embossed.
Yes.
Very
The
nice.
logos and that creature there will be embossed.
That's
Cool.
very cool. And then the black and white version, which actually is black and white on the inside.
Yes. So just like that cover there, the gray tones that I add as sort of instructions or plates for the colorist to separate forms and stuff, those will be on there. And then, of course, the straight black and white line work.
So you're saying this could grow, depending on stretch goals, this could grow into like an 80-page book, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wow. What a deal, guys. What a deal. And I would say my book is 100 pages for 25. Graham's could be as much as 80 for, what do you got, 25 on here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So these are really good values. Speaking of which, now I don't know if you tuned in or not Saturday for the, what are they called, Shelley?
Nobody gives a damn awards or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no, I was
wasn't-
shoveling snow.
I was thinking about you shoveling snow.
Yeah.
But there was a category where they had, I don't know if it was favorite creator or best creator, probably favorite creator. And you and I were in there, but bringing up the rear, sadly. So I was watching you and I as there was 5 nominees in the category, each category. And we were 4 and 5. And we were fighting it out for last place, but you beat me 7 votes to 5. So out of those top 5, and really it's an honor just to be nominated. But you did beat me out by 2 votes for
that's okay.
favorite
honey.
creator of the year or whatever it was. So of course,
Well, we were both
there
there
was
for
best
writer,
value as
too.
well.
Who won that one?
best writer.
Yeah.
Let me look.
It was. It wasn't me. I finished 3rd. I was a little grumpy about that. It was.
I can get it.
Was it Shane again? I think Shane
be.
won everything. Shane and
Oh, Malin's right.
Roquefort.
Yeah.
I'm
getting it.
I think it was Shane.
There's actually, if you go to Amanda B's Twitter, here's a video of them, but she also posted.
Yeah, I went to her
Winners.
thing and I saw but I didn't see certain categories listed.
Artist of the Year, Kenneth Roquefort.
Creator of the Year. That's what it was. Creator of the Year.
And then there's Artist of the
And
Year.
Irene won that.
Yeah.
Beat Shane barely. And then you and I brought up the rear. I can't remember who finished 3rd above us though.
Where did it all
Might have
go?
been Ethan.
Was best value. So you guys were talking about.
Yeah,
which
Billy
was
Tucci
Billy's.
for his
Billy
omnibus,
got
which
that
was an
one. Yeah, I
incredible
saw that.
value. Yeah.
Best
Best
writer.
character.
I did win best
The
character.
Raid.
You did.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. I
So
saw that.
I
Congratulations.
did.
Most memorable moment.
Thank you.
We could all guess that one.
Yeah, that was
Gail
Dale.
Keown's
Oh yeah, yeah,
First
yeah.
Sleep
Stream.
Stream.
Best new creator, Rich Ayala, who did Roach Balls.
What was that? Okay.
Best cover. It's a Kelsey Shannon cover.
Yeah, for the Cyber Frog where he's on the chopper. That one best cover for Ethan's Wrecked Planet. I think it was Wrecked Planet.
Entertainer of the Year, Ethan. Best ensemble, Kings.
The Bros weren't even nominated.
I know, I couldn't believe that.
That was a crime. The Bros.
Best colorist, Kelsey Shannon. Community ambassador, Bancroft, of course.
Barely beat out John Malin.
Best letter, Eric Weathers.
Phil
Diaz. That's
Phil
right.
Diaz won best writer.
Phil Diaz won for best writer. Oh,
yeah,
great.
So that was kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, there was, it was only like 70 people voting. We thought, what these guys should do is put it out on Twitter so they can get way more votes, but then they'd have to count them all.
Well, Twitter will do the poll, but to get more
do a poll.
Yeah, well, they did live voting on the show, and I remember who put on the show? It wasn't Amanda. It was
Vanessa.
Danger Vanessa did the show, and she was like, "Oh, this is going to be a 4-hour stream." And I was like, "Well, if you put all these polls out on Twitter and then just announced the winners on your show, you'd have a shorter show, right?" So, yeah, but what do I know?
But too, it's because you guys are on YouTube and so much more visible that there's a your personality. You cannot that voting. You might really like somebody's book, but them as a person,
or you really like somebody,
right? Or you really like them. I don't know. I just think it's so interesting now because before you go to Comic-Cons, and that's the only time you got to be face to face with other people and meet other artists and see what they look like. Because otherwise, you could be walking down the street and not even know.
Our personalities are,
and ours doesn't help much. But
yeah, we're not helping ourselves right now. But
right.
They are. To these
ruining my chances for next year by being on the show, Aaron? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, we should have had to sign a waiver.
I should have warned you. I apologize. Yeah. No, that our personalities and how we're perceived online are attached to these projects.
And social media, everything
Sure. And so it's important that you don't abuse your chat unless you're shooting with cannonballs because they really
or you can nuke them if they really need it.
There you go. Bros was in the top 15 nominations, but didn't make the top 5 cut. Well, okay,
I even made one.
That's right. You made top 15 for Comicsgate Ambassador. There you go.
That was pretty cool.
Maybe next year you'll get in there and.
I doubt it. But that was really nice. That was sweet.
Aldion, getting to know the creators.
Real
go ahead.
Reward vote is backer numbers.
That's right, baby.
And I look at that and I see 1,254 backers. I'm like, that's the award right there.
That's right.
That's all I need.
Aldion says getting to know the creators is what makes Comicsgate so much better than mainstream.
For sure.
It really is. I mean, it's like every time we do a stream, it's like going to a con and sitting around and talking with the creators, right?
Yeah, it's always so much fun.
And you guys get to save a lot of money on plane airfare and
we were just
hotel.
talking about that today for San Diego next year, how much it's going to cost and
fortune.
It's going to have to drive and.
Oof. You didn't go this year, right?
No, because of Shelley's.
I had my surgery then.
Right.
Eric the Guapo says the award show is just for fun. We know we're just having a little fun with it being just for fun.
It's just nice to be nominated.
That's right. That is.
Well, somebody had to go.
Thank you, Dan, Pizza Man.
Out of their way to actually say, I really like this book or this writer or whatever. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Peyton is now he's turning on you. Excuse me first. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Richie Duke. That's the wrong.
Oh,
hang on a second. Peyton, where is he?
Will.
There he is.
I said if they needed it.
Yeah, Peyton like you.
Only if you need it.
Yeah, and he needed it. So I did it.
I needed it.
All right, everybody. The link to this campaign, as well as Wraith of God Blood Hunters, is in the description of this chat. So make sure you go there and visit. Graham, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening.
And make sure you guys
hanging out with you guys.
It's always fun. I was going to say at the beginning of the show, it'd be fun to see how we met. It was fall of 2014.
Oh, that's right.
In Stuttgart.
You know, the dumb thing was we sat on a 12-hour plane ride right across from each other, and we didn't know, we'd never met. So I thought that might be you, but I wasn't sure. And so I never went over and talked to you. We didn't talk the entire plane trip.
But then when we finally met, we're like, oh my gosh.
You're the guy that was sitting right across from us on the plane.
And it was so nice and so fun. And
we had a great time there.
Oh my gosh.
They're telling me to refresh. So let's refresh the campaign.
Okay, refresh.
Oh,
there you go.
A couple hundred out of there. Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, very nice.
But make sure you guys go to Indiegogo, check out Bass Reeves.
Yeah, don't forget about Bass Reeves.
It's such an emotional project for David too. It really, talking to him about it really touched my heart.
And it hasn't been shadow banned as far as we know. So you might be able to find it just by going over there.
Some are closing pretty soon. So you guys, can you filter and search by like dates or anything?
For what?
On Indiegogo? I just know I've seen on Twitter there's a couple like Long Shadow and well, there was another one that Danger Vanessa talked about that was ending soon. And I think Malin's is ending soon and he doesn't do In Demand.
This Graveyard Shift Omega Storm, I think it's called. Yeah, so there's a lot of good, of course that's shadow banned too, but there's a lot of good stuff that isn't shadow banned along with good stuff that is. So get over there and check it out.
Yeah.
And what's the name of that?
Andy Smith's too.
Yes, that's right. Cordrath. That one's the librarian
falling a little, and it's being shadow banned. So yeah, go check that one out.
Yeah, and the thing is, if for whatever reason you don't use the links here in the chat, if you go to any of our Twitter pages, we'll all have the direct links to our campaigns. You can get to them there as well. So
absolutely.
If you can't find them on Indiegogo.
I have my links on Facebook too. Just about every day I'm posting something, so it won't take you long to scroll through it to get a link.
Yep, exactly.
Have we found out why or anything? Have they communicated with any of you guys about why we're shadow banned?
No one's got any information back yet. We've sent out a bunch of emails and stuff.
I think we need to
all lawyer up together. Is that there was a term of service that was breached in that we used previous campaigns, like we do an update. Let's say the Chenoo is already closed, and I do an update to the backers of the Chenoo and say, hey, I've just launched my next project, Ghost of Metacumba Key. It's a horror book like this one. You'll probably like it, blah blah blah. Well, they consider that spam because for whatever reason, and so that's goes against the terms of service. That's the theory that's running right now. Now
we have no clarification. We have no verification of that.
We don't know, and that's the thing, is that it's just radio silence. The least they could have done was say, "Hey, you got to take those down because it's a term of service thing," But it's like all of a sudden they don't tell us we did anything wrong. We didn't know. We didn't do it intentionally, we just get hosed by them.
Exactly. I know that Shane said he took those out of his previous campaign and let him know that he took it out, and he still didn't
do anything. Yeah.
Nope. So anyway, well, we could sit here and gripe about it all night, but what's the point of that?
But I think the key is we need to all be looking for an alternate.
We've got to maintain and curate an email list, and
absolutely
that's the key. And that's what I say to everybody that's starting these things: your email list is gold. That's your pot of gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Collecting that data, collecting those emails, and making sure they get out to as many people as possible.
Yeah,
it's a key, and it's like a Metacumba key. That's how much of a key it is.
Hey, if anybody in the chat, by the way, hasn't signed up on my mailing list, you can go to compasscomics.com and sign up there. That way, you'll be informed of everything I'm doing.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sequential Treasures, of course, James. Don't forget to plug Comic Art Convo this Saturday with us talking about our favorite multi-part comic storylines. Cool. That's right. So that'll be 4:00 unless I change it because of some athletic event that I have to watch and torture myself
with.
But actually, Nebraska plays on Friday, so I'll be depressed by Saturday. So probably 4:00 unless I change it, but that's Pacific time. But anyway, let's wrap this baby up. Graham, again, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on. I could love talking comics with you and old movies. There's nothing more fun than that.
And don't forget, we'll be adding beanies
either tonight or tomorrow. See if I get around to it. But so there you have it.
Yep. Hey,
You guys
have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanksgiving, Aaron and Shelley. God bless
Thank
all
you,
of you.
too.
Thank
You
You
too.
too,
Hope
hon.
you guys survived the snow. And thank you,
it's
chat, for joining us. We couldn't do it unless you supported us, and we greatly appreciate it. And have a great week. And we'll see you soon.